Hello everybody, this is Dan Bigman. I am your GPR professor from LearnGPR.com, a division of Big Man Geophysical. And I'm here today to address an important question because, again, I think, we've gotten this question multiple times in a couple trainings recently, but I also think that's because there's this big misconception out there about this topic. And so the question for the day is GPR feasibility maps, right? I should say, okay, are GPR feasibility maps useful? So what's the GPR feasibility map? Well, it's a map that's been circulated, I think, and again, I don't want to say who it was created by, but it's a well-known kind of map that, and to take kind of, this is something like the US, okay? I know it's terrible, but maybe something like this. Like the US, this is Texas, so maybe something more like that. Get it right. I'm not the artist of my family. So, the United States, right? So the USA. There's a map that has areas, it's kind of siphoned off as, good and bad and useful pockets of good, bad, and ugly, locations for using ground penetrating radar. And they have a set of categories as appropriate, semi-appropriate, or good conditions, fair conditions, poor conditions, and like non-usable for ground penetrating radar. I think it's about 4 categories or 5. Again, I don't even look at it, so I don't know. But I wanted to handle this. So it's 4 or 5 categories. Maybe it's great, good, fair, poor, and unusable. And basically, I live here, okay? And where I live is in the poor category, okay? So this is Atlanta, Georgia. I'm in the poor category. And others are in areas that are unusable, okay? And some, like down here, for example, okay, in the Orlando area, okay, Disney World, and maybe that's why it's magical. So in the Disney area, it's, great for GPR, all right? And then some areas over here where it's marsh, it's, unusable, or whatever the case may be. So what's the point? How do we answer this question that I've gone through this? Are GPR feasibility maps useful? I think they're minimal. They have minimal utility. Okay, I don't think that they're very useful things to have because they're very generalizable. And so we have seen people from here that we've spoken to, who might be in a poor or unusable zone, who say, Dan, we've thought about GPR, but it doesn't work in our area. I looked at the map, and the map says that our area is poor or unusable for ground penetrating radar. And what I say to that is any given site can have differences from one side of the site to the next. You could be able to see something on one side of the site and not on the other side because conditions have changed. These are highly generalized, overarching, geological-based maps, which are helpful to be able to say to a customer, look, it's a problematic area. We're not going to guarantee that we can be successful in this project. There are these issues, but we're going to try to be as successful as we possibly can be. That's the way I would approach it. But to not use GPR because you're in a poor or unusable area on the geological map, the feasibility map, I think is crazy. Give you an example, right? So in my case, I live in an area that's quoted as like poor soils. And we have situations where the soils we're working in aren't even native soils. They'll be, fill trucked in from down south up here, okay, to a site, and then dumped and graded, and then capped over with a road base and an asphalt layer, protecting that soil from the elements, making it far less saturated